Attention, all curious minds, innovators, and trendsetters. It's time to pause, lean in, and get ready for an extraordinary journey as we dive deep into the fascinating realms of life, technology, entertainment, and business. Let's explore, learn, and grow together. Brace yourselves, for the next thrilling episodes of HIPTHER Talks is about to take off. Counting down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here we go.
Hi everyone, Zoltan here. We're back again this week with HIPTHER Talks. Thank you for joining us again. And this time we're going to speak about esports, especially since the World Cup 2026 is coming up this year. And as I mentioned in a podcast episode last year, I really don't know much about what's going on in the football world since 2002 probably. It's great that we have all these experts and everybody to point us. So I'm joined by Vitalii Semeniuk, Esports Product Growth Partner at Better. Hi, Vitalii. Nice to have you here.
Hi, Zoltan. It's a pleasure to be here.
Vitalii has been speaking at our conferences earlier and now finally joining us in the podcast. So, before we dive in, we have this tradition. We like to give the opportunity for the guests to say a few words about themselves in their own words. So, Vitalii, could you share some of your bio with the audience?
Sure. So I'm the guy from esports. So for me, I started working in esports in 2011. Worked early in different types of tournament operators. So we did a lot of different types of tournaments, small scale stadium ones. I worked with I was launching League of Legends League for Riot Games in Eastern Europe. I was working with Tencent, with Krafton, with Epic Games, with Wargaming, and lots of other companies. So quite huge portfolio of clients. While I was a part of company StarLadder and then a few other, including Chinese ones. So for me, it's more esports. I've seen a lot of different things during this period of my life. And in the iGaming industry, Better is the first experience for me. So last 2.5 years, this is where I joined Better and started my new journey, trying to transfer all my experience from that industry into new one.
All right. So how do you feel about these eLeagues? Because did you have any skepticism towards these leagues before joining Better?
Yeah, pretty much, to be honest, yes. When I was observing, because a lot of my friends they actually work in the industry in Better as well, and I was hearing from here and there like what type of activities they run, and I was like, no, that's something very weird. Players playing eFootball every day, 24 hours per 7. I was very, very skeptical. And probably till I joined the company and saw first reports from partners and clients of how it performs and compare it to what we used to see in reports even for quite huge esports events. This is where this skepticism basically disappeared.
All right. So basically, you probably saw the performance data versus the traditional esports, and this changed your mind, right? Or
yeah. It's both, in terms of activity of how popular it is, and in terms of turnovers, and final performance results in terms of GGR that is being received by bookies operators. It's kind of impressive numbers.
Yeah. All right. So guys, I've been asking these questions because I'm very interested about because I keep seeing this online, and I know that this topic really matters now ahead of the World Cup 2026. So could you share with us why?
Yeah, of course. Basically, I would probably drop a bit of story behind of how this content appeared,
Yeah.
and how it started becoming important part of what operators, basically those who care about this part of revenue, or those who use it. So basically during COVID, when a lot of activities were shut down because of COVID, even in esports, which is happening some part of it online, it was also not that level where you could constantly observe events and see something happening. And this is where this type of content appeared, both for traditional sports, like let's say table tennis, and for esports as well, eLeagues like eFootball and everything. But interesting part is that when COVID gone, this content stayed, and that's because it proved to be useful like beyond lockdowns, because schedule is not constant, so we always have breaks for different types of sports, like during football season, during off seasons, but you have a huge audience that is still willing to place bets. And this is where basically this content became quite popular for those who figure out how to properly use it.
Yeah, that is a very important part, how to properly use it.
Yeah, it has its own advantages, because again, it's kind of I would say in controlled environment. So we control how we work with players, how do we get those players playing, and all the cycle of integrity measures and so on. I don't know, maybe we'll later discuss it a bit more as well. But yeah, this content stayed after COVID, and it's proven and growing now even more.
All right. And why is it important now with this World Cup coming up? Are there any leagues or...
So for World Cup specifically, we basically, even during previous Euro and Copa America, we analyzed the stats and noticed interesting patterns in behavior of users. What was interesting, and I believe, it's pretty much obvious, but people are not speaking about it a lot. That's why probably worth mentioning that before match happens and after match happening finished, and during the breaks, this 15 minutes break, there are people who already either earn some money and they want to kind of find another place to spend it. And again, those who figure out how to properly work with this content, in terms of cross promo, and those who have this content, especially that type of content that is very well performed, because there are different suppliers like for anything, and you can get content with that performs good and provides good margin, stable margin, or you can get content that is kind of not that good. So it's also important. But yeah, basically stats show that those who had the eLeagues, eFootball, for example, during Copa and Euro, they have turnover increased by 25%, bet volume increased by 30%, and unique better increased by 40%. And the important part is that even after the tournaments finished, a month after, betting activity was still higher. So this content was literally extending this, window behind the tournament itself. And some people, they might say that it's kind of cannibalize the key content, core content. But in reality, seeing stats, we see that it's more complementary. And it's just helping because everyone is dropping huge resources into bringing players during such events to their platforms. But literally nothing to do for them during between matches and after tournament ends.
Yeah.
And this is where this content is proving itself being very useful.
All right. So by this time, probably the audience is searching eLeagues, but let's help them and explain what are the eLeagues and maybe what they're not.
True. Yes. Probably had to start with this parts of basics. Funny part is that even if you speak about esports, there is no proper single naming for it, so you can see it being written in very different ways.
Yeah, I write it with E, like a small E, and large capital S, esports, like in the old days, about 10 years ago.
Yeah, and you can see different symbols in between, and literally working with different regions. I was receiving presentations, I don't know, probably up to 10 different versions of how it worded, named, and so on. And in fact, same issue is we have for eLeagues. So we call it eLeagues in Better. Other companies call it like eSims, console leagues, console games. There are bunch of different names. But internally, we decided to use eLeagues, aligned with traditional sports naming like eFootball, eBasketball, eHockey, and so on, to make it clear. Plus, what is important to say that in our case, we are talking strictly about PvP content, where player is playing against the player. This is what we call eLeagues. Because we separated from content types like AI-generated matches, CPU versus CPU matches or virtual sports, because it's a bit different, and some of these formats, they are regulated differently in different countries, and PvP content usually faces fewer regulatory challenges, and plus it just delivers better, higher quality betting content because it has real players, it brings more trust, it has live broadcasting. So that's why we see it as a bit different thing to all other types of content.
All right. So why are operators actually using eLeagues? Could you maybe share the key points about why is this important for them?
Yeah, so probably first and main one, I already mentioned that it is continuity. So basically, eLeagues run non-stop, like multiple streams, 24/7 all year round. So that clearly means for operators that they always have something to offer to their user. Second thing is speed. So matches are shorter. Let's say for football, it's like 8 minutes. So people just have a fast betting cycle. They place a bet, they watch the match, and then they get the settlement quickly. So it's another advantage, basically. That's why I mentioned that during the breaks, during official matches, even for World Cup, you have 15 minutes, so it means that you can
basically play 2 matches.
Run through 2 matches. Which works good. Another thing is control, because basically companies that organize it, they fully control scheduling. They decide when matches happen, how many of those matches are running in parallel. So basically this flexibility allows operators to center the offer exactly when it's needed. Like, let's say in the morning you don't have anything happening, so you increase number of matches. In the evening you have something happening, you decrease it, so you balance it. And we constantly check performance, we check what is happening, calendars and everything, we plan accordingly. So we always try to have as balanced as possible schedule in terms of the amount of matches and formats that are played, and also leagues that are played, because we can use variety of leagues depending on the region, on the time frame, and so on. That is kind of also important part. And probably, the last one is performance stability. We control players. I'll elaborate a bit more later how we select those players, but in general we have stats. We see how players perform. We have balanced players groups, so we can fully control the competitiveness of the games and get expected results. I mean, not in terms that we know who wins or something. Here exactly. we follow completely clear competitiveness rules and everything, and we make sure players compete in the as fair as possible environment. But here I mean in terms of performance of, because again, that's an interesting question if you compare it from esports and now maybe in an iGame, and when we speak about the word quality. Because for me back then in esports, I would say when I was asked what is the, how would you, describe the quality of esports event? So for us back then, it was the quality of the picture, who is on the screen, what they are discussing, like different types of content, some kind of press shows, some kind of highlights of video interviews, graphics, adding augmented reality and things like this. So was the quality, because for us, main goal was to attract the viewer to watch the broadcast, and later to basically play this game and become another user of this game. And here, if we speak about quality, we speak about a bit different things, which are margin basically and stability. So you want to have stable margin, you want to have stable content, and you want to be sure that this content brings you money and you are not losing money on it. Very simple and straightforward, but still speaking about same things from different points of views.
Exactly. So I finally have somebody to ask this. Is it too late for me to become an esports player? I'm 42, turning 42 this year.
Depends on your expectations and this.
Yeah, I used to love these racing games, those and Need for Speed, connect like online network games, and also I used to like FIFA a lot. I played a lot of football, so yeah, I think that those are the ones that. Are there any like leagues where like racing simulations are happening?
There are a lot of things happening all around the globe, I would say. It's just they are sharing different level of popularity.
All right.
I mean, even for a game, it's like there are top 4 disciplines that are performing at the high level. I mean, I would say gathering more than 90% of turnover. And everything else is more, I would say niche ones. But yeah, you definitely can find. You can join one of our esports battle tournaments if you want as well. You can participate. I don't remember any upper limits on tournaments anywhere I was a part of any type of discipline. There is only limits for people younger than 18, but nothing that.
Yeah, because these guys are now like, I see lots of huge esports players, and man, my generation has invented esports, because we were the ones carrying the big PCs because there weren't any good internet connections, doing the LAN parties and connecting creating the server and stuff like that before all this stuff happened. So yeah, nowadays it's pretty simple.
Yeah, proper internet
Yeah.
appeared much more later than
exactly.
we wanted to play some games here. Remember, these old times downloading even a song for a entire evening.
CDs.
So,
oh Jesus! All right, so let's also talk, because you mentioned the Copa I think it was Copa Libertadores, right? and Euro 2000. Oh yeah. Copa and Euro 2024. So you had some case studies. I'm interested about what happened there. Could you just maybe share some ideas about turnover, bet volumes, or unique bettors, and maybe some outlook about what's expected this year at the World Cup?
Yeah. So very briefly, again, and we have it. I don't know how to share the link. Maybe
we can add it to the description. Yeah.
All right. Okay, great then. So we have this report separately. We saw a lot of traction for eFootball during Copa America and Euro 2024 in terms of both turnover, bet volume, and unique bettors, and what I mentioned about the betting activity after the tournament as well. So for turnover, it was like more than 25%, for bet volume more than 30%, and unique bettors increased by more than 40%.
That's a lot.
And we expect for World Cup it will be even more, because due to the popularity and interest from different parts of the world, especially when it comes for European operators, time zone is not the best.
Yeah.
So yeah, people will be, looking for more places and for more content during this period of time, and we are planning to adjust in terms of content we are planning to offer. In terms of teams that are participating, in terms of leagues, we'll build some kind of tournaments that will look like World Cup, just happen in a few days, so people can get the same experience and same teams. We will adapt like visuals and broadcast graphics, so it also looks alike. So just everything, to extend this engagement far beyond the stadium schedule. So people get this content all day round, and we'll start providing it, I believe, a month before the World Cup starts, and continue offering it after a month after it ends.
All right.
Just to make sure, it is all covered.
So, why is this content safer than the traditional sports? I'm going to have a trick question here, because maybe let's say that these traditional sports are played by more older guys who have needs for more money and do tricks and stuff like that to get more to get away with such stuff, and these kids that are playing esports have more integrity, probably don't need that much money right now, but maybe they can turn to like I like to say, sneaky bastards later. So could you shed light on this?
Basically, what probably one of the things that differs us from a lot of other suppliers on the market is the way we work with integrity. And trust me, I know it for sure, because we have people coming from different companies, and they share their experience, and that's kind of very impressive things that are being built and done here in Better. Because for some it's like, they treat it like a checklist. They put a camera in the room, tell players what not to do, and move on. And we believe that this approach does not work at this scale. We see it as a continuous, proactive, day-to-day operation, which starts before a player even enters a match. So player goes through structured onboarding, background screening, risk assessment. Plus, we do integrity education, which is mandatory, not optional for us. Players are trained to recognize manipulation, pressure situations, and how to react on them. We have a lot of different mechanisms how they basically can report anything. Plus, we also monitor it. We operate 24/7 monitoring setup. So matches are monitored in real time. Data is analyzed continuously. We get signals from different sources, which are combined into a single monitoring flow. And basically, as data confirms that this approach works, we have more than 35,000 of events per month right now, and less than 0.2% of flagged suspicious, which basically we have this fully managed competitive environment, and it makes this content, safer than real sports. If you check stats of traditional sports happening or some specific disciplines, let's say tennis, it makes it safer and it brings more confidence in it.
All right. So let's also talk about artificial intelligence and machine learning, but also about pricing. So is this making speed scalable, or do you have any key points for this?
So yes, basically what I mentioned before, speed is one of the advantages of this content. And that means that delays at any stage, from actual game to trading, and while it's getting to the end user, must be minimal. Which means basically, scouting, which was part of the process before, is not enough right now. Fortunately, in esports, there are multiple ways how to get data. For some games, let's say Dota 2 or Counter-Strike, you can get access to the server logs and get this data instantly from the game. You don't even need to do anything on top, manually, so you can fully automate it. Unfortunately for such games as EAFC and others, which we use for eLeagues, this option is not available. So we have a few other remaining. One is basically some companies that are injecting third-party software into the game clients to extract this data still from the RAM memory. We are not huge fans of this type of extracting of data because it violates publisher rules, plus creates extra integrity and operational issues. Games are crashing, and so on. So now we use machine learning screen recognition to instantly get what is happening from the screen and convert it into incident feed. So it provides us speed. We don't have this phase where someone needs to manually, input either goal was scored or corner or whatever. So this is where we save a couple of important seconds for us. Another thing is that now we are working on separate math models that are this model is combining historical player performance, group dynamics, head-to-head data, and also works automatically based on this incident feed we receive. So at the end, it helps us to provide more accurate pricing and less manual intervention, which at the end brings, again, good margins and good performance for our clients.
All right. Let's also talk about streaming and latency. Are these some commercial levers that the esports side of business has?
Actually, having and not having streaming is a huge difference for this type of content. It heavily affects performance. It heavily affects retention. For traditional esports, is, I would say, more than crucial. For eLeagues as well, as I told at the beginning, it brings more trust, it brings more value. You see real players competing. You don't consider it as being something virtual created by algorithms or something. But again, here speed also matters because everything has to be on sync. What user sees on the screen basically must match what they see in the odds.
All right.
With such short matches, it's very important. That's why latency is one of our key focus areas right now. If the stream is delayed, users have less time to place a bet. Markets close faster, rejected bets increase, and overall engagement drops. So now we work actively on new technological solutions to reduce streaming delays and to keep videos fully aligned with pricing. And yeah, basically, again, it's pretty much about money. So few data points. Even live streaming is available. Turnover typically increases by around 10 to 15%, which is quite a lot. And if the latency is reduced to around 3 or 4 seconds, fully synchronized with pricing, the number of rejected bets can drop by up to 30%, which is also, again, about same metrics. So yeah, that has direct impact on turnover margins and overall product efficiency. So yeah, latency optimization is not a technical detail; it's another commercial wire for us.
All right. So could you tell me more about the players and competitiveness, or maybe even the long-term engagement? I mean, how many active players are there? Or are you doing some scouting at open tournaments, something like that?
Yeah, that's I would say another fundamental element for us, which would pay a lot of attention. It's the area where a lot of operational complexity sits for us. We have more than 500 players competing in our tournaments right now. And we regularly run open tournaments to scout new players. These are fully open formats where anyone can participate, regardless of age or gender. So
I can go there.
Yeah. But in general, for us, this allows to constantly refresh the player pool and to maintain diversity. But again, as hinted a bit before, once players join this ecosystem, the work does not stop here. We just don't bring them to the studio and allow to play. They play a large amount of matches before being allowed into official competitions. Their performance is tracked, their behavior is analyzed, and their statistics are constantly updated. After that, group formation is handled very carefully. The key goal is to maintain competitiveness at the high and stable level through the entire schedule. So, they play like few hours of shift until the end of the shift. They still willing to play and still willing to win, which is important. They are balanced not only based on skill level and historical performance, but also on consistency and match dynamics. So they completely, have equal group of equal player playing matches during the shift. Plus, we pay a lot of attention to the motivation. Players participate in structured incentive programs that reward their performance, consistency, and fair play. And again, that ensures that every match matters and the players stay fully engaged during the entire shift, game after game. So very simple, good result, competitive matches, predictable quality, and product that remains engaging over time.
All right. So are there any untapped sports disciplines that eLeagues and fast betting content have not approached yet?
Actually, there's still a lot of room for growth here. Like many popular sports disciplines do not yet have the strong elite equivalents. Like there are few companies that already launched, for example, American football, but very limited offering. So a lot to explore there, like baseball, boxing, UFC, a lot of games that bring some traction, but still don't have strong eLeagues analogs here. So we see a lot of potential still.
All right. And what's next? Maybe are there some new betting mechanics or features that are coming? Or
there are things that are being tested also, and let's say we're borrowed from big analogs of from football, things like bet builders and so on. So that's something that some companies also already looking into. We will be looking into new markets, like corner markets, card markets, and so on, things like this. A lot of things to do. So I think that we are at very, very, very beginning of this journey.
All right. So as a final question, I would like to ask you if you can give some advice or make some takeaways and a wrap up for the operators that are watching this podcast.
So basically, for those who still don't have this type of content, I strongly recommend you to try to integrate it as soon as possible, because before Code3 starts and all the pre-World Cup activities start. Again, it's not only about even World Cup; it's about you losing money or not having this type of content for yourself. And why it is important, I'll not mention any names and exact numbers, but for some large clients, we are a third provider in terms of content when it comes to the betting volume. Again, the number of matches and the interest and everything that was explained before, it kind of speaks on itself. And in absolute scale, this is significant for operators.
All right. Thank you so much. And as a final question, who will win the World Cup this year?
Let's see. Hard to predict such things. Or no,
Any
Ukraine,
favorites?
of course.
Ukraine. Okay. Are they in a good league? Because I'm not really watching the.
To be honest, even though I had kind of semi-professional past for football, for a real one, got these grades and everything during school time, there was some decent period of time when I was just, following only major things happening in the football. And I'll be honest, even in esports, because you just don't have time to follow everything that is happening all around the globe. But answering your first question, even though being Ukrainian myself, I have huge trust in our team. Still probably not in the best mood to win World Cup.
All right. Okay, let's hope for the best. It's going to be interesting. I might watch one or two matches because it's been a while since I watched football. All right, Vitalii, thank you so much, and I hope to see you in Prague in a couple of weeks. Or later at some of our other conferences. And until then, everybody, thank you for joining. Take good care. Bye-bye.
And that's a wrap for this section of HIPTHER Talks. Thank you for being a part of our journey today. Don't forget to tune in next week for more insights and discussions. Stay connected with us on Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and more. Until then, keep exploring and keep growing. We'll see you next time.